muy pana, se veo. La corona, Casabón. Esperar un par de minutos a que se conecte. Ah, ya se conectó. Ya se conectó.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dude.
What's up, man? Let's wait for a little bit, see more people logging in.
I was waiting for you to start speaking in English.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, it's a challenge for you now. Thanks for being able to attempt to put up with my attempt at English, and we'll see how long I can do it without getting a headache.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think, is it 8 o'clock already? I think so, right?
What happened to your picture? You're so bright.
I mean, I'm just, yeah, right there. I glow, man. I glow. You know that. Well, we're here. This is our, I guess, second chapter of this videos of conversations called Excellence in Golf. They're about talking with outstanding athletes about their thoughts on being excellent, and what they've done throughout their careers to being excellent. So today we have my dear friend Morgan Hoffmann. He's going to talk to us a little bit about himself. We're going to talk about our relationship life and a whole lot of things.
Yeah, dog.
So tell us a little bit about you, Morgan. Your beginnings in golf. Where are you from? For the people that don't know you.
Well, let me, hold on. The sprinklers just came on over here.
Good.
I'm moving outside. All right. Yeah, my name is Morgan, obviously, follow me, and grew up, my dad was a good golfer, and he was a scratch, and grew up in New Jersey, and he kind of taught me from the beginning, and was my kind of one who got me into the game and started me in diapers around the course, and
nice.
It was fun, you know, like kind of playing a bunch of sports growing up: ice hockey, baseball, golf, and they were all awesome, but they all incorporated travel. So
what was the first one?
I don't know. My mom kind of put me in everything. She put me in soccer and baseball and fencing and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Just
Barbies.
Barbie dolls, yeah, exactly.
Cool. Why did golf win over the other sports, hockey, baseball?
I guess I was kind of the best at it. I started, I guess, winning tournaments at a young age, and it was fun, and I liked that you could kind of get better every day, and when you had a perfect day, it could always be better. I'll never forget playing Arcola when I was like, I don't know, 8 or 9, and my dad said to me, you know, if you just try to make bogey on every hole and then make par on just one, then you'll break 90. I was like, oh man, you know, you make it simple that way. I can do that. Yeah, it kind of got me hooked, and that was it.
Nice. Any idols growing up?
Any idol? I mean, Tiger, obviously. Yeah. He's
doesn't have to be golfers. I think you like Derek Jeter too, maybe, or I'm just making.
Yeah, Jeter for sure. Jordan, Michael Jordan, obviously, is an incredible athlete, and just with all of them, their mental kind of fortitude was just pretty amazing, and that's, I think, what enamored me more than their performance on the course or in their perspective sports. And it's just so cool how they were so far ahead of the game in each of their sports, and that's what really intrigued me.
And they kept doing it over and over again, and
Yeah,
But
kept
those
getting
were
better.
really good players also.
Mhm.
So you played junior golf. When did you decide that you wanted to be serious about golf? Any like turning point?
Yeah, probably when I was like 13, I started playing IJGA events. Um, see Charlie asking about my hat. Yeah, this hat is sick. Charlie just designed it. I can't really see it. It's our new MH Foundation logo. It has an M and an H in there, kind of black, and then a cross in the middle for our health and wellness center. It's pretty dope. I love it, and we'll be selling it on our website soon. And I haven't taken this off in like a week. But yeah, anyway, back to golf. When I was 13 playing IJGA, that's when I started kind of traveling for golf, and it was a lot of fun. I
So
love being on the road.
when you went to IJGA, you still weren't sure if you were serious about golf? Moving to an
No,
island with nothing but golf and trying to figure it out still?
yeah. No, I'm telling you, like when before I even knew about IJGA, because I started playing IJGT events
Gotcha.
before all that. Um, so, dude. Yeah. Um, these comments are good. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but man, I don't know if anyone knows, but Rafa and I went to the IJGA together, and we were roommates, and
That was funny when I met you. I don't remember, or I don't know. I don't know if we've talked about this, but first time I saw you was on the boat for going to the Fosky, waiting for the boat.
yeah.
And it was me, my mom, little Gretchen, and my grandmother.
Hmm.
And I think you were with Heather, your dad, and your mom.
Yeah.
And I think me and Gretchen at the same time. Hey, what's up, Tito? Tito says hi. And we both see you at the same time, me and Gretchen, like you and your family. And she's like, oh my God, look at this kid. He looks like a dorky American boy, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, ah, yeah, man. And then we get on the boat and we're still together. And then we get on the bus and you jump in the same bus. And I'm like, oh my God, are we going to the same house? And Gretchen is just making fun all the way, like, oh, you're going to be roommates with him. You'll see. Blah, 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 blah. Like, no way. And then we get off in the same house, same room. And I'm like, ah. And now I guess, I don't know, we're still friends. I don't know why.
Yeah. Sorry about that, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's life.
Dude, you see Jack McGraw commented? Any other roommates in there? Oh yeah. What's up, Jack?
I slept in the van, Charlie, in the top.
Damn, yeah, some good stories. We so Defusky Island was the only way to get there was by boat, and we lived like on the beach in these sick houses, and crashed weddings when we were like 17 years old. Man, that was fun. We would get up every morning and before dawn and work out and go for runs. And we had Tyler, our other roommate, is now an Air Force pilot. He was a maniac to keep up with in the gym, and it was where we all got started. And
Yeah.
then before school, we'd go to the par 3 course and
And I interrupted you there a little bit, but that's when I started seeing, because I got there and we never really got to play together because you were playing IJGTs and tournaments in the States, and I was playing like the traveling with the Venezuelan team, playing in different countries and all that. And I mean, we only practiced together basically the first semester, and everything was, oh my God, Morgan is so good, this, and that. And I'm like, I mean, shit, I'm good too, what's going on? But I could see the things that you did every day because I was there seeing you, and nobody was telling you to wake up early before the bus came to take us for breakfast to go and work out and hit wedges for an hour. And then nobody was telling you to hit more balls after practice was over, and you were still doing it. Workouts after workouts, everybody would go home and, I don't know, gamble, play poker, whatever, and we stayed and did a little extra workout after that. So you were always trying to be doing a little bit more than everyone. I don't know what was going in your mind or what was the purpose behind it, but that was one thing that caught my attention. So yeah, okay, this guy's really good, but maybe this is why, you know?
But he's a dorky American, so stay away from him.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to.
Shit, yeah, man. I don't know, like being around like the best players, you know, it's always. I when I went to IJGA, I thought it was like, oh, these kids are the best, you know, like this is
Yeah,
where everybody goes, and
the same. I was like, man, this is gonna suck. I'm not that good.
yeah, find out that like only like 5 guys can break par in the
Yeah,
whole place. Um, but man, that remember the bugs on that island?
yeah, man. Practicing midsummer with full rain gear.
Shit, yeah, it was bad.
It'd be nice to have facial hair then. Charlie didn't have enough. Yeah. Had enough brow, didn't have enough facial hair. Um, so what were, I mean, obviously you had a pretty good career as a junior player. You were number one in the world. You were number one for freshman of the year. You were college player of the year. You were number one amateur in the world before you turned pro at some point. So you see always like the good things and the good news, but what were some of like the difficult moments, turning points, hurdles that you just it took you a lot of work or you had to figure things out, sit back and kind of try different things out, or I don't know, how did you overcome your early obstacles
I mean,
you remember of?
yeah, that like working my way up the ranks, it was always a game for me, and um, it's just like I knew I could always be better, and the like I went out not really expecting to shoot a score. I just went out to be the best that I could and play the best golf that I could. And if I made a bogey, I knew that I was going to make it up with a couple birdies. And I love playing aggressive because that was my game. And a lot of people kind of ask me, well, what's some good advice? And mine is to know your game and know your strengths. And jumping many years in the future, playing web.com Mondays taught me how to go extremely low, and having to shoot like 63 and 64 every time to get into
Exactly.
events that's like there's certain times that that you need to really step up. Like when I went to Oklahoma State, I missed my first tournament, like our qualifier.
I remember seeing you in the roster and I was like, what?
Yeah, I didn't make it, and I was like, this is not what I expected. I thought it was just going to be easy street, you know, and
Yeah,
that kind of like kicked me in the ass, and that's when I started grinding and really put my head in the dirt and just got it done. And you just got to figure it out on your own sometimes. Obviously, I had Gary Gilchrist as an amazing coach for many years,
and more than a coach, definitely.
yeah, and Mike McGraw at Oklahoma State, Alan Bratton, Donnie Dar, and you need people there to help you through those times of doubt, and sometimes tell you, you know, yeah, you are good enough, or you know what, like you suck at wedges right now, so go work on them for the next 3 weeks straight and don't look at anything else. So it's just like you got to be brutally honest with yourself, and that's one of the hardest things to do. But if you want to be the best and get better at any point, that's
For sure.
that's the way to do it.
Sure. So you definitely, and that's a good point that you make, that obviously it's a lot easier to look at these things when you have mentors of the caliber that you had. I mean, Gary playing junior golf, you had a great coach in college, and all of these guys, I think, I don't know, knowing you and knowing the people that you put yourself around, like I said, they're more than coaches. and you value the relationship that you have with guys off the course, and that makes it even better when it's time to do some deep thinking about how to get better and all of these things. I think, you know, your thoughts, but I've had both, and I know the difference when you have people that, more than great coaches, you have a great relationship with them, and definitely makes a world of a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, now digging in a little bit more into what we want to talk. For you, what is excellence? What is being an excellent golfer, athlete, person? What do you consider all of that?
It's all your own standards, you know. It's I think excellence in so many people's eyes are driving Ferraris and having a nice house and being rich and having material things is excellent, or having success.
Exactly.
And it's for me, it's different. It's finding health and having great people around you, having amazing friends who support you through everything, and now have an amazing wife and dogs and
A leopard.
yeah, leopard cat. Um, but excellence to me is just being balanced in life and having that love for yourself and being comfortable kind of with who you are, and working for what you believe in. You know, I think a lot of people get caught up in what other people want and think that other people's opinions matter so much. And people are afraid to kind of step out of the box and do their own thing. Uh, so many people, I hear them say, well, man, they're going to think this, or my friends are going to look down on me, or, you know, I don't want someone to think I don't like them or whatever. Like, no, just do your own thing. Do what makes you happy. You know,
Yeah.
everybody, you hear it a million times. Like, don't do something you don't love. And yeah, that's what excellence is to me, and believing in yourself.
And also, I mean, that perspective, it's very changing too, because when you were 12 years old, excellence for you was winning the tournaments, and then when you were 14, you wanted to be in IJGM, playing more golf. And changing times, we change as people, and that whole perspective changes. I'm sure that if I ask you this question a month before getting to a PGA Tour, you had a complete different answer from 5 years ago, and
For sure.
so I think it's very important for us as people to be constantly asking that to ourselves.
Yeah.
Speaking about excellence now, like in a global term, I think that I want to dig into it a little bit. Strictly golf. You go, you plan out your year. Obviously, I mean, sports are just tough because everything is measured by the results, where you're in the money list, FedEx Cup, whatever. But what is excellence for you approaching the sport? How do you keep getting better? What do you, how do you go about your thing?
Excellence for me is in golf is knowing what to practice and how to make yourself better. Sometimes it's not going out and beating 7-irons forever. Sometimes it's shaping shots. Sometimes hitting low. Sometimes going in the woods and um, getting it like experimental. Um, you can judge yourself so much based on others. And I mean, when I first came out on tour, I'll never forget, like, some of these guys that I play with. Obviously, I'm not going to mention names, but like, man, I feel so much better than them. How are they on the PGA Tour? And then I look at their records and they've won 20 million, or they've been out here for 15 years, and like I bomb it by them, and I feel like I chip it better and hit it better and all that stuff. But it's not about that. It's about golf is. It's not a game that you can overpower, and it's it's a test. It's like chess. You know, you got to outthink it, and you have to use your mind. And sometimes, you know, hitting a 3-iron off of a 500-yard par four is smarter than trying to hit a driver 350 down the middle. And it's hard to do that, especially for me being an adrenaline junkie and like
Get into that later.
yeah, you know, playing ice hockey and flying planes. It's hard. It's really hard for me. But that's why I love it, because I think you can get better every day, and
For sure.
it's the most challenging sport on this planet, I think.
Well, and to add a little bit on what you say, I mean, you're already on the PGA Tour. You've proven yourself as a legit golfer. But I'm sure that you might get caught into this too. Us guys are still trying to make it. It's very easy to shy or deviate from your plan. Like, you have this, I'm going to be working on this, and it's going to take me there. And usually, when you follow these things, you get better. Doesn't matter who you're working with, you set up your goals, your plan, and you get better.
Right.
But this kind of same question that I asked Mariano last week. Like, with all of this abundance of information, social media, articles about this guy's swing is the best because he just won this week, and then next week this is the way golf should be played because John Ram won, and then Zach Johnson was another one, and you have to play conservative. So everything changes all the time. Brooks wins. Now we have to lift 10,000 pounds every day to hope to win a major, you know? So how do you incorporate these things to your life while also maintaining your essence and staying true to yourself?
Well, I mean, we're always learning, right? Like, you can't, if you're not getting better, you're kind of getting worse. Like, if you're not pushing yourself or staying stagnant, like you got to always push yourself and be comfortable with the uncomfortable. And Dr. Ocean, what's up? Anyway, yeah, like, say 1 week Brooks wins and he's sitting at 350 and, you know, just dominating golf and making it look like it's a small game, you know, and you got to learn from that. And maybe, maybe you do have to work out a little more. It depends on who you are and what your body style is. And then the next week, Zach Johnson wins, and, you know, comes back with a closed club face, and he has a 20-year-old putter, and, you know, it's just each course is a different game to play, and you got to learn it new each week. It's a crazy game. It's not like basketball where it's played on the exact same specs of a court each week, or soccer. There's so many more elements, and my answer to that is just you want to be the best that you can every day. And what that means with new people winning all the time and learning from those winners is that you see what's in their bag, you see how they won, you see what they're talking about, how they practice. If you can get that information, then that's huge, and it can help you in many ways. Just gotta do your research.
I agree. I guess, what about, let's talk a little bit about fitness, because that excellence has definitely changed a whole lot more than golf. Because now fitness is even wellness, and I think you can bring mental health in the conversation as well.
Right.
So I guess we can start again from the IJGA days with fitness. We used to try to see who could do the most of everything all the time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Same,
How many
same
how
guy,
many push-ups you can do in a minute?
and then the milk chugging and
Yeah.
get huge. So I think um, obviously everybody knows all your goals. People probably have an idea that you're very into fitness. Think not now, but since the day I met you, but they just know the surface about how meticulous you're about all of this. Talk to me about your evolution journey and learning about all this from IJGA lifting to now all of this. I've always thought that you were a couple of years ahead of the trend. When we were lifting, people were not doing anything. Then
Yeah.
people were doing, when we were doing mobility, or you were doing mobility stuff and bands,
Yeah.
people were starting to lift and do the shakes and all that. And now you're basically doing breathing and yoga and a lot of inner work, and people are starting to get like a glimpse of that maybe. So
Yeah, I mean it's been a long journey, man. When I first learned about fitness at IJGA, we there's always that little bit of stretching part, but it was very basic, and um, it was more of a competition that who could get stronger and faster. And we didn't really know about health. We knew that we thought we knew we needed protein, so we had a box of cereal a day and poured as much milk as possible, and had protein shakes from Walmart. And
the bars that had like 80 grams of protein, those metrics bars.
yeah, yeah. Oh man, those are disgusting. Um, Damn, yeah. So it evolved from complete naivety. I don't even know if that's a word, but um, yeah, it's been a crazy journey. I guess the next biggest step was college, and when we had a trainer and we wake up at 6 every morning and go to work out. And our trainer was the football coach, and we just tried to get as jacked as possible.
Who could
Uh,
most?
and it was all about legs and deadlifts and cleans and
Yeah.
jerks and how much bench you could do. And I got hurt a lot. My back was out for a full year. I broke my ankle. It was not smart. We didn't was never taught about nutrition. Now the Oklahoma State program is much more um, all encompassing with nutrition and working out. But back then it was, I think I put on like 18 pounds of muscle in the first like couple months I was there. It was crazy. It was fun. We getting jacked. Yeah, it's always awesome. But after college, I started working with Don Saladino, and he got me off dairy. That was 9 years ago, and I've never looked back. Dairy was the biggest thing that helped me kind of really jump to the next level of fitness and digestion and my body working properly and functioning right. And um, dairy, it just causes so much mucus in the body and slows everything down, the digestion process. And people don't understand that your gut is, your really second brain. And if your stomach isn't functioning properly and your body isn't digesting its food, then
Yeah.
You're not going to perform well, and you're going to take forever to recover. And now,
So you're not an advocate for gut milk?
yeah, no milk, no butter, no yogurt. Haven't had that in a long time. And then really started working with the TPI stuff and foam rolling and stretching a lot and doing metabolic, getting your heart rate up, and learning about different apps that can track your heart rate and blood pressure. And it was huge. Don and I worked together for a long time and are still best friends. And it's he was the one who kind of shot me up on the PGA Tour and got me strong. And
Yeah.
that's really when I started cutting out really all kind of processed foods too, and yeah, the Whoop band, whoever just commented that, yeah, Whoop is sick. It's been really good, especially for sleep and people who are getting into fitness.
Yeah, recoveries.
Um, yeah, recovery. Alcohol is such a bad acid that you can put in your body, and especially for athletes, definitely get rid of any alcohol consumption. But now I've been raw vegan for the last 3 years. I got rid of meat, any type of animal product, fish, cheese, chicken, any type of meat. Just like for me, it's all the research that I've done has slowed down once again the digestion process and creating acid in the body. And when you're especially when you're trying to fight a disease off, it's not good to have things that slow down your digestion, create mucus, and um, it can really affect your DNA and your genetics, and it's crazy. There's so many things that uh, can affect the way your body works and your energy levels. It's amazing. And once I got rid of meat and went strictly plants, it just skyrocketed me. And
What triggered that? Was it you? Did somebody suggest that?
no, I've heard about it for a long time, and I love steaks. Like I used to love
I
filet
know.
mignons all the
I was
time.
living with you. We were having nice steak dinners every time, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, I'm vegan. I was like, what? And you've
Yeah.
never been back. Once you go vegan, you never go back, I guess.
um, and yeah, like I don't really miss it. I don't crave it because every time I ate meat, any type, chicken, um, especially red meat, like I felt terrible for the next couple of days. Like my body was just slow. My stomach would always hurt, and I just thought that was normal. I thought
Yeah.
having
So you're
stomach cramps were just, yeah, it was just part of it. And like you were full for the next 2 days.
yeah.
It's just because your food's not digesting properly and it's fermenting in your stomach and
Yeah.
creating bad shit in there. But what really took it off was that documentary called What the Health on Netflix, and just really looking at how these slaughterhouses are run and how much you know pus and blood is allowed in these pus, blood, and feces are allowed in your food and what you buy in the stores. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. And now someone just mentioned salmon. Like obviously, if you're catching your own salmon, great, go ahead, eat it. But like now it's coming from the ocean. There's plastics in the ocean and all that stuff. And I know some people might think that it's getting a little crazy to mention all that stuff, but every little thing that you put in your body can either hurt or help. And it's there's no point of kind of poisoning it, and especially being an athlete and trying to cure a disease naturally. I've found that the best ways for me are to eat as raw as possible, and things that don't have to be packaged. And all the research I've done has led me to this, and it's pretty exciting.
Do you find yourself eating more than you used to now that
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
eating
well,
real?
sitting down and eating, yeah, like just going into the kitchen all the time. Yeah, I used to just have like 3 meals a day and be completely full.
Yeah.
Now it's snacking all the time, making smoothies and having bananas all the time and just berries and all this kind of stuff. But it's great. It keeps my body super high energy, and it's really been working. This atrophy that I've had from the muscular dystrophy has definitely halted, I believe. And with all the research I've done on this plant-based diet, it can really change your genes and um, help you regrow muscle. And even after, might sound crazy, but going on like a 72-hour fast by just eating water only. Actually, sorry,
Of not.
after after 48 hours of not eating anything but water, your human growth hormone goes up like 2,000%. So after not eating for 48 hours, you literally start growing muscle back, and your body starts eating away and getting rid of all the toxic waste. It's just it's incredible what your body wants to do and wants to heal.
Wow. You talk about fasting, and Mariano just sent some thumbs up. He's been fasting, and he looks a lot better and feels a lot better about all of that as well. So, what else? Talked about health, fitness. What has your? I mean, I think we know your biggest challenge of the course. But we'll get into that later. But on the course, like a big obstacle, something that you couldn't get through.
Billy was up.
Even I think that experience of Oklahoma State, you were pretty much playing with 3 or 4 other guys always that are solid players on the PGA Tour. How
Yeah.
the environment there, the competitiveness, all of that. I'm sure you had learned a lot from. You had greatness around you for 3 years.
Yeah, well, that's why I went to Oklahoma State, man. It's like I knew that I wasn't the best coming into it, even though my ranking coming into Oklahoma State was #1 junior in the world. But like, I knew that Ricky at the time, he was in college, was better than me. Peter Uline, Kevin Tway, Taylor Gooch, all these guys were on my team, and I definitely knew Ricky was better. Peter was probably better. And who else? A couple other guys like Trent Leon and all. It was just an incredible environment. I knew that if I wanted to be on the PGA Tour, I had to beat everybody on the amateur circuit.
Yeah.
And so that was my goal, to go and beat the guys on my team. If they were the best in the world, then if I could beat them,
chances are pretty good.
Yeah, I knew I could do it. And that first year in college was a lot of fun. I got to #1 amateur in the world, and it was nice beating Ricky Fowler all the time. And
did you win that tournament in Vegas with a broken foot?
yeah, I did. Had a broken ankle, had it taped up like pretty much in like a boot, and like limped around. And
yeah, no, I remember you guys killed us. We played that tournament. Well, you killed everything. You had a course record too, I think, or you tied it.
Yeah, that was the year before I shot 62 at that course. Was the course record, Southern Highlands in Vegas.
That's the one that we played. And then you won with a broken foot the year after.
Mm-hmm.
How do you break it?
Playing basketball. Yeah, and my skills on the court, not too good.
Yeah, it was probably after dunking, coming down.
Exactly, it was.
That's another thing I was talking, and it's actually a good transition talking about that, because a lot of people say that, oh, you're a professional golfer, you should stay away from everything else because you're going to risk injury, blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, you can fall off the stairs. You can get in a car accident. If you're trying to be that cautious, just don't get out of bed,
Yeah.
And I think that takes a little bit away from your essence, or the person's essence, if you're worried about all of that. I remember Rory couldn't defend the Open because a couple weeks before the Open, he broke his ankle or something playing soccer, and everybody was killing him on the media and all that. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Because I know that you like to push the limits of everything.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can't, even though you're a professional athlete, obviously your body comes first. But you can't stop your life, I don't think. Like, there's a lot of guys that, are addicted to golf, and that is what they absolutely love and nothing else, and that's what they live and breathe. And that's what you have to do if you love it like that. But I love so many other things, and I could never I wouldn't be myself if I stopped flying planes and surfing and
Yeah.
paddleboarding and all that kind of stuff. Like I need.
Swimming to the farthest sandbar where there's no real sandbar, and then.
That's a good story. Holy shit.
Uh,
Yeah. Rafa and I were, and Drew Page too. He played at Oklahoma State and now is the Scotty Cameron rep. We were at the beach here in Jupiter, and there was like a break way out in the distance, and I was pretty sure there was a sandbar out there and like that you could just chill. And I was like, you know what, I'm a good swimmer, and I know these guys are pretty decent too. We're gonna make it. And, about like 100 feet out, we couldn't touch anymore, and then for the next 15 minutes we couldn't touch at all, and we got out there and the sandbar was there, but it was like 6 feet deep, so we could touch our tiptoes.
You could, I couldn't. And I had a shitty mask too, so.
Because you're short.
Yeah, I mean, I'm as tall as you can get in my country.
Yeah, and then the waves got pretty solid, and Rafa, didn't really do too well.
Swimming, it's like, okay, let's go back. I mean, this sucks. You look back, and I kept swimming out and swimming and swimming and swimming. I said, okay, how long till the sandbar or whatever you call it? And it's like, no, we're almost there. And it's like, just tell me how far we are. No, like another 2 minutes, 100 yards. It's like, no, you don't swim 100 yards in the water in 2 minutes, but fine. Let's keep swimming because, I don't know, I just follow you in things, and they're never a good idea. And get there. Obviously, I'm still drowning because water gets up to here. You were fine. I'm like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm turning back and swimming to the shore. And I turn around and I'm like, oh, we're far. We're pretty far out here. Damn. So I start swimming, and like the tide is pulling me in, but all I'm thinking is like, don't panic, just swim, 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 swim. And I'm not moving. And I look back, and you're only like 30 yards behind. And I felt like I swam for days. And then I'm starting to get tired. I mean, on the beaches up there in Jupiter, there's nobody on the beach. And you can look at the entire coastline, and there's nobody out there. And I'm like, and then weird thoughts started popping, like, man, so if I die here, nobody's gonna find out, you know? Nobody's gonna find my body. I'm dead. It's okay, whatever. This is it. And then I turn back and I start telling you, like, hey, I'm tired. I can't go anymore. And you're like, no, just keep swimming. Don't worry. Breathe and don't panic. It's like, dude, I've been panicking for 15 minutes already. And then I cannot swim anymore. I can't swim. I'm like, hey, Morgan, I'm scared. Save me.
This is the first time I ever heard you say I'm scared. Like,
exactly.
We've done a lot of crazy shit, and to hear my boys say, hey, I'm scared, I'm like, all right, fuck. Like, I gotta take care of this. So I freaking swam with you on my back for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, like 200 yards into the wind or into the tide.
Yeah. That was
made it there, kissed the sand. I couldn't sleep that night. I was like, I thought that was it.
You did kiss the sand. I remember that. Holy shit.
That was good.
That was good.
And then we had good dinner at this restaurant. What else? Well, I wanted to jump in a little bit in since we're talking about taking risks and your personality, we kind of touched the surface on that, because that's one of the things. I don't know if that they make you different, because there's a lot of people that have that personality. Yes, I was kind of the same as in the caves in the desert, but I didn't have any elements inside of me.
Someone else commented, we were south of the jetty. It was like kind of near Green Roofs, I guess, if anyone knows that.
But anyways, with your personality, I think that you are pretty good at staying true to who you are on the golf course, and it's not easy to do. It pays. I mean, it has taken you all the way to where you are. Any moments when you think that mentality of going after everything has kind of kicked you in the ass?
Yeah, 100%. You know, there's times when I, you know, obviously get too aggressive and, you know, go at pins where I shouldn't. And obviously a 30-foot putt would be much nicer
Yeah.
than having a short-sided up and down. And but then there were times where I was kind of, you know, fed up with um, the way I was playing and was like, all right, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to go back to what I love doing and going at every pin. And like I think it was 2015 or 16 playoffs, the BMW, and the last 2 days I had to finish third to get into the Tour Championship. And
2014.
yeah, and so I was like, all right, coming into the weekend with Steve Underwood on the bag, and
Something
like, all right, what?
something had to happen in those two
Yeah,
rounds to keep it going.
yeah, something had to happen, and I was like, all right, let's go. And shot 62, 63 on the weekend, and like so much fun, you know. It just all came together at once.
How did that feel?
It was awesome because like I felt like I had nothing to lose, and I felt like if I played like this all the time, it would just be I'd be elated. Um, it was great. It just felt like me out there. I don't think like I probably could have kept that up for a lifetime on the PGA Tour, but maybe I don't know. It's interesting to think about because if I did do that, like even when I come back um, and just start playing aggressive, maybe I have 2 or 3 events where you know I'd make a million birdies and blow the field away, and then the other ones I miss every cut.
True.
Um,
True.
but you got to ask your question: do you want to be a consistent player, or do you want to win twice a year by 10 shots or something?
Yeah. Well, and you have to stick to one, I think. It gets a little tricky when you start be like being one guy one week, another guy another week, and then another, and those are the guys that are having trouble when June and July hit. Marianne is asking here, what kind of student are you? Are you more technical, feeling, maybe a mix? Does it vary? How do you like coach practices, swing practice, all of that?
Yeah, I'd definitely say a field player. I do like to look at like my positions on the video, maybe like I don't know, once a month, just to make sure that my posture and alignment is good. But other than that, like I think that on the course you don't really know exactly what you're doing unless you video every single day. I know there are players out there like that, but I'd rather get up to a shot and be like, all right, here's my window. I want to hit a cut. I want to have a little more spin on it, and I feel that instead of knowing like, all right, take us back to 3 o'clock, finish at 1:30, have a little bit of hit, like pivot and like downforce, all that kind of stuff. Um, but I do need to learn some definitely more technique with power. Like my legs have never really worked great. I've been working with EJ Fister a bit on some movement from the ground up, and it's really helped. And it's exciting to see that ball speed go up a bit, and can't wait to keep implementing it when I get back.
Good. Is Morgan the same on the course and off the course?
You know, to be, as I said, being honest with yourself, like, no, I'm kind of a perfectionist sometimes, and on the course, I can be very hard on myself.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a lot better at that, but off the course, I'm very easygoing. I'm spontaneous. I love doing things that and being with people that make me laugh, and love to have fun. And on the course, sometimes a lot of people say that I'm very serious and look kind of scary. And one of my goals coming back is definitely to be more like I am off the course, because I know.
I ask you that if you would like to be more like the Morgan outside the golf course, on the golf course.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that'll help too because, as you said earlier, like you can't be two people.
Yeah.
You got to be that one person and um, kind of mesh it
Well,
with your work.
and you spend more time with the one that's off the court.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good.
Thanks, Billy.
I had another good question.
Man,
Well, what makes Morgan Morgan?
what's up, Darren? What makes me me?
Yeah.
Um,
Like
man,
if you have to say, I don't know, a couple of things that you like about yourself, who you are, because I'm gonna add on this, and we're probably gonna say the same things.
you're laying it on me, man. Making some hard questions
Well, I mean, bring it, man.
here. um, yeah, what makes me me? I mean, I love nature. Um, I love being adventurous. I love taking risks. I love learning new things. I always have to be going or learning something, or I feel like I have to be getting better, bettering myself. Um, Whether it's playing the piano or learning, I just started learning the charango and the ukulele, and uh, just keeping it fun and flying planes is a never-ending um, endeavor, kind of profession, because I take my life into my hands every time I fly, and it's it's awesome though. It's nice to let go from golf, and um, keeping the mind sharp has always been big for me. And yeah, I know I love learning from people, but I also like being private. I like my privacy at home and with my wife and dogs, and um, yeah,
I think you're cutting off there a little bit. I don't know if it's me. Yo,
yeah. You good?
yeah. So yeah, I was gonna add to that and say that make I think that you're a person that values like the close relationships that you have with your peers or your close friends. You don't really, I mean, you value genuinely good people. You don't care if the guy is a millionaire or what they do for a living. You just like being around cool, genuine, real people.
Yeah,
And that's a pretty good trait to have. And I think that's why you still pretend to be my friend. Um, Also, I think that's why you're so respected amongst your peers on tour. You're not one guy that is hanging out with everyone or pretending to love everyone, but guys really appreciate your honesty. When last year on tour, when I talked to other guys that, I was your friend and blah, 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 they were like, man, that guy is super cool and always good things to say about you. And I think that goes back to you're a person that you're very comfortable with what you're doing. You know what you're doing, and you don't really pay too much attention on the comments or judgments about people. And
yeah, for sure. I mean, but
that's
like,
a lot easier to say than to do it.
yeah, you just got to realize that. I say this in my meditations every morning that no matter who you encounter, everybody's trying to be happy,
Yeah,
and no matter what, like, what's one question that you can ask somebody that you have in common with them is, I want to be happy.
everybody
Everybody
here
wants to be
has
happy.
a time.
So if you realize that, and you get like someone who cuts you off driving, right, flips you off, you know, and they're just pissed, and you realize, like, you know what, that guy might be having a bad day, and he's just trying to be happy. That might make him happy to get his anger out towards you. And you give him a thumbs up back, and all is good. You
Yeah,
just realize that.
on the next red light, you pinch your tires, and it's all good. Bye. What else? What else? What else? Talk to us. Okay, I mean, I'm jumping. I'm a mess right now, but all the topics are good. You had this good run in the playoffs. You made it after BMW to a top 30. You get into a tournament that everybody wants to get in. You play Augusta the year after. How was that drive into Magnolia Lane? How was the whole experience? How does that feel like? Because you also had a good tournament to be a first.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream come true, you know. Like, what's up, Matt Fields? How you doing, man? Um, man, it's a dream come true. You know, everybody tells you that it's going to be perfect. The grass is perfect. It's green, and it was, man. It was like nothing I've ever seen, and they treated you like gold, and you realize that you're at the highest level, and that I made it. You know, it's kind of like as a kid when you're 5 years old, 10, 20. You're like, all right, I'm going to make this 5-footer to beat Tiger on the last hole at Augusta. Let's go.
Exactly.
And it was incredible. It was a really fun week. I had some of my best friends with me, staying in the house, and my family there, and some friends. And it was just like such a great support team. And it's really special, man. Augusta is just, it's a course that sets up so well for me, too. I love it. I think that I feel like I can win there one day, honestly, in my heart.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to get back. It's a really special place.
I have to cut this because after an hour, it's going to break and we have 1 minute. I'm going to end it and I'm going to request you again.
My phone's going to die here, too.
Get a charger.